us on CNN this morning.
Thank you.
Senator, the administration, the president, the Treasury Secretary, they're complaining that you, not only you personally, but the Republican leadership in Congress, for the first time are forcing the American taxpayers, the U.S. government, to go into possible default by refusing to raise the debt limit ceiling. Yeah. Why are you doing that?
Well, first of all, we're not doing that. We have had to try to bring the White House and Secretary Rubins to the table on a balanced budget, dragging and kicking all the way, every step of the way, and still they have put nothing on the table with reference to the really big event in modern economic history, and that is a balanced budget that is real. They have done nothing about it. They brought nothing to the table, and now they attempt to scare the American people into thinking that we're not going to get a balanced budget unless we do it their way and unless we agree with them to extend the debt limit. Let me say August 31st, Halloween Day, has come and gone. The big threat of
October 31st.
October 31st, excuse me, has come and gone. That was the warning date. The Secretary had indicated everything's going to go down the drain. Interest rates are going through the roof. It's come, it's gone, and guess what's happened? Interest rates are coming down and not going up. I think the market is anticipating a real balanced budget and believe that we're going to get there, and that's what's important. As far as we are concerned, this president and his cabinet and his OMB director have totally isolated themselves from the process of getting a balanced budget. What do they propose? They ought to start right now, today. They ought to tell our leadership that they want to talk about serious things and bring things to the table. If they don't, then clearly we're not going to be doing everything they want when they do nothing that the American people really want and scare us to death with reference to a debt limit.
Well, if the president says, as he has been saying over these past several months, that he does favor a balanced budget, he said 10 years, later 9 years, now he says he's ready to go for 7 years. Is that enough?
Look, Wolf, this is just a joke. I mean, the President of the United States this year has gone from sending us a budget that did nothing on the deficit, ignored it, to one that he sent up that he claimed got to balance, that did not get to balance, that got 0 Democratic votes in the United States Senate, and continues to make the case for the American people that is really a non-case, that he has a balanced budget. If he wants to come to the table today, what he ought to say is a balanced budget in 7 years, and we don't have to use the president's phony economics. Let's get started on real numbers. If he did that, we're moving.
Now, all of this talk of a November 29th short-term extension of the debt ceiling, which you have suggested is a possibility, are you ready to go along with that as an immediate resolution of this problem?
Look, I believe we're going to have to continue to drag and push this administration every step of the way. Whether we grant this debt extension, short-term one, now or next week, we want to be able to send to the President of the United States a balanced budget and let him veto it. We want to send appropriations and let him veto them. So we're not in any hurry to extend the debt limit. Sooner or later, it'll be extended for a short period of time, and it'll be the last one we will give the President and the Secretary of the Treasury unless and until they come to the party, bring something to the table to get a balanced budget. You know, we now hear that interest rates could drop 2 full points over time if we get this balanced budget as we propose it. Now, how in the world can we turn our back on that now when that is the future of our country? That's prosperity, that's growth, that's improving our standard of living. We're not going to give that up.
Very quickly, Senator, what does the president have to tell the Republican leadership at the meeting this afternoon in order to convince them and you to go for a short-term extension of the debt ceiling?
I think he has to decide that he is going to get involved personally in getting a balanced budget. He has to say 7 years unequivocally. He has to say we will not use his economic assumptions, which make it so easy that you don't have to change anything, and say I'm ready to go to the table with CBO's economics and a 7-year plan, and I'll bring something to the table. I'll bring something new in the budget to the table that I have never brought there before. Without that, I don't see how we're going to make any headway.
Okay, Senator Domenici, thanks so much for joining us this morning on CNN, and we'll see what emerges from this meeting later this afternoon here at the White House.
Thank you.
Donna?
Well, thank you much. Up next on our CNN Morning News for you, new evidence that eating seafood may actually satisfy your appetite and help your heart all at the same time.
what's new on the aircraft financing?
Good news.
Yeah?
Matter of fact, I just heard from First Union.
Whoa, that was quick.
Yeah, it's a solid proposal, and the lease will let us do things our way.
That's key. When can they close?
They're ready when we are.
Great work. Gary, let's get them on board now. Once this thing gets going, it's going to move pretty fast.
They always do.
For 1996, we redesigned everything. For a new style, a new spirit. Not because we want to be the best thing on the road, but rather the best thing in the air. The employee owners of Transworld Airlines, we're up to something good.
Time changes. Nothing lasts forever. Either you change or you get left behind. Today's technology is amazing, but the batteries got left behind. Well, Railvac changed all of that. Renewal. They're alkaline like regular batteries, but more advanced. You can renew them, reuse them, and they come back strong. It's so easy to throw them in here. Why would I throw them out there? Play it smart. Railvac Renewal.
This message is brought to you by the 30,000 information technologists and system engineers who are ready to go to work for you in Fairfax County, Virginia. These days, you need a PhD just to keep up with all the developments in science and technology. Fortunately, we have 20,000 of them for hire in Fairfax County, Virginia.
Today on CNN's Burden of Proof, some in Congress want laws governing your rights as a parent. Should the government regulate family relationships? The arguments today, 12:30 Eastern on CNN.
Friday night on Dinner and a Movie. Don't miss Urban Cowboy and find out how to make your own no-bull tequila fajitas with Paul and Annabelle.
All right.
Dinner and a Movie. This Friday at 8:05 Eastern on TBS.
The Supreme Court today takes up the question of whether certain types of advertising are protected by free speech rights. At issue is a 39-year-old Rhode Island ban on advertising liquor prices. The state law does allow for alcohol advertising, but it requires no mention of prices, even the word sale. Legal observers say that the ruling could have a far-reaching effect on the regulation of other products and activities. A federal court of appeals said last year that the ban is a constitutionally permissible limitation on commercial speech.
You know, if it seems that everything that tastes good is bad for you, well, seafood lovers will be relieved to know that there is some evidence that moderate amounts of that favorite are actually good for your health. CNN's Eugenia Halsey has the latest in today's Food and Health Report.
A little seafood may go a long way. According to a new study, people who ate just one serving of fish a week dramatically reduced their chances of cardiac arrest.
They had an approximately 50% reduction in their risk of cardiac arrest compared to persons who didn't eat any seafood.
The study, involving more than 800 people in the Seattle area, is reported in this week's Journal of the American Medical Association. When researchers at the University of Washington compared the diets and blood of the people in the study, they found that those who ate moderate amounts of seafood rich in so-called omega-3 fatty acids had a 50 to 70% reduction in their risk of cardiac arrest compared to those who ate little or no seafood. Cardiac arrest is a condition in which the heart suddenly stops pumping. It's not clear how omega-3 fatty acids protect the heart. They may make the blood less likely to clot and block blood flow to the heart, or they may reduce the irregular electrical rhythms of the heart that result in cardiac arrest. Seafood rich in omega-3 fatty acids include salmon, albacore tuna, herring, mackerel, sea bass, oysters, and mussels. The researchers recommend people include these types of fish in their diet once or twice a week.
But the findings do not suggest that eating more seafood than that is beneficial.
In fact, a recent Harvard study found that those who ate fish at least 6 times a week were no less likely to suffer a heart attack than those who ate fish only a couple of times a month.
We didn't see that really wolfing it down made a great benefit.
Most health experts also do not recommend taking fish oil pills, since most of the evidence for fish's benefits comes from studies on fish in the diet, not pills. And the pills may have side effects. Eugenia Halsey, CNN, Washington.
All right, coming up on the CNN Morning News, everything old is new again in Chicago as another number 23 prepares to launch a comeback. Sports coming up next with Mark McKay.
And we will show you one of the world's biggest Halloween bashes, so big that it's created a huge problem.
Hello?
Food and Health is brought to you by Pepcid AC Acid Controller. You can be heartburn-free with new Pepcid AC.
If you've got heartburn, you've got some new choices, Pepcid AC and Tagamet HB. They're not the same. One small Pepcid AC acid controller does what even two Tagamet HB can't claim. Pepcid AC controls acid up to 9 hours. It prevents heartburn all night. And only Pepcid AC has no drug interaction warnings. But don't take my word for it. Ask your doctor or pharmacist. New Pepcid AC, the strongest, longest acid controller.
If you come to our Cayman Islands to do nothing, you'll miss everything there is to do.
Only Embassy Suites hotels give you a suite with 2 big rooms, a free cook-to-order breakfast, and evening beverages on the house. Because only Embassy Suites is twice the hotel. Call 1-800-EMBASSY.
All dairies go a long way to meet high industry standards. But Quality Check goes farther, which is why more people are coming up to the fresh taste of Quality Check, where higher standards mean fresh taste.
Oh. Is this for me?
Let's give that back to Santa.
Not so fast. I've added a few things to my list.
New Long John Silver's country-style popcorn shrimp. Bite-sized shrimp with fries, just $1.99.
Okay, kid. Hand over the shrimp.
One more thing. On Dasher, on Dasher.
Just hit it.
Right now, collect a holiday crystal for just 99 cents each.
Hello? Alex, it's Paul. What do you hear from Wall Street on the offshore project?
I don't know. You were hoping for something fresh, huh?
Yeah.
Well, I've got a proposal.
You mean First Union?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more. Well, they know the risks, and their plan for getting the capital protects us if the market moves against us.
I like the sound of that.
No kidding. We're gonna nail this one.
Right.
I think it was W.C. Fields who said never work with children or animals.
That's right.
All right, well now, Hillary Rodham Clinton has learned her lesson. The First Lady was invited to a forum on family-friendly companies yesterday, but she was upstaged by a 3-year-old in pink tights, the daughter of one of the speakers. Turns out, the little girl crawled up into Mrs. Clinton's lap and was waving at the audience members, and she actually yawned during some of the speeches and just hogged the spotlight. Was it Rudy Giuliani's acceptance speech?
Son,
Had
right,
the same thing as son was doing the same sort of
yes,
thing?
He was waving and mimicking and going on and on, you know, yeah. That's right. Total honesty from children, huh?
Yeah, that's right. Mark McKay.
Yes, sir.
This morning. What's
So
going
does
on?
it get old to be retired, I wonder?
In Chicago, I guess it does. Huh?
I guess so. If you wear a number 23 and you're a Chicago sports superstar, playing golf, trying your hand at baseball, or whatever, just really doesn't get it done. Saying that he's done the retirement thing for a year and a half now, Ryne Sandberg is ready to return to baseball with his old team, the Chicago Cubs. As Fred Hickman reports, Sandberg just couldn't keep himself away from the job he's excelled at for so long, any longer.
Sandberg's office, second base, and he ran it very efficiently. 9 Gold Gloves and 10 All-Star Game appearances attest to that. But midway through the 1994 season, the fire somehow went out. Sandberg, not happy with the direction in which the club was moving, in the latter stages of a terminally ill marriage, had it. But now, happily remarried and pleased with the new club management, Sandberg is ready to give it another go.
I would say that mentally that I'm ready for the challenge, and mentally I'm ready to play baseball again. On my visits back to Wrigley Field throughout the summer and just watching the ball club play, I liked what I saw. And I think that's a big part of me coming back and wanting to come back.
Yes, the heart is willing, but will the flesh be too weak at age 36 and after 16.5 months away from the game? His last couple of seasons show a decline in production over the early days. The big flies came with only about half the frequency, with his home run total over the last 2 years being a rather unremarkable 14. The batting average is also down, but how much of that was waning desire and how much was father time? Well, time and hard work will tell.
You know, I have to get back into the baseball conditioning and get my body in shape to play Major League Baseball. There's no question about that. I think time is on my side, having 5 months to work out and to get ready for the season.
Rhino doesn't have to be as good as he was 10 years ago. I think his presence on the field, he'll be able to do little things to win a ball game rather than lose it.
Can he do it? Well, there happens to be another guy in Chicago who's quite the expert in such matters.
A lot of things that he's dealt with over the past, he's kind of free a little bit more. He's got a little bit free of mind. And I'm happy for him. I think he's deserved to make the decision that he wants to make, and that means coming back to baseball. I support him.
Fred Hickman, CNN Sports.
All right, I think we all know that Mike Tyson is no pushover in the boxing ring, but wouldn't you know it, a thumb injury will prevent the former heavyweight champion from stepping into the ring against Buster Mathis Jr. at the MGM Grand Saturday night. It's true, it's true. The fight is off because Tyson has a break midway between the main joint and the tip of his right thumb that'll require up to 6 weeks to heal. Tyson apparently suffered the injury in training for the bout in mid-October and